Y'all, hey y'all, it's your boy EJ, and we back here with another review, y'all. We are here for what? You know it's Sunday, so you already know what it is. Power Book 2 Ghost, baby. You know it's episode 3, Play the Game. Y'all, this episode was so juicy. Oh my God. And I'm only here to really talk about a couple of characters. I really want to talk about my girl Tasha. Like, Tasha, you need to start getting your life together, honey, because at this point, what is really going on? Like, you done told Davis that you're gonna be, basically on the stand. But I'm like, baby, they already trying to play a thing that you're the kingpin of this goddamn organization. And I'm Tasha. You have too many loose ends inside of your plan. Like, you're trying to protect Tariq. They know that you're really trying to protect Tariq. Now that they got Miss Tamika, girl, Miss Tamika is really gonna get you together. And I really hope that Davis ends up getting Miss Tamika on your goddamn team, because it seems like she ain't really feeling you because of the fact that you done fired her in the beginning. But that's neither here or there. Now, basically. So, like, let's really get into Tariq. Like, Tariq, this character, he's really starting to come into his own, you guys. Now he has all of his schoolwork basically going on. And, now he's still showing up late, guys. Still showing up late to the class. The teacher really don't feel like he's really needs to be up in this collegiate studies class or canonical studies. And he basically said that he told them in the beginning that he wasn't ready because Tyreek is late. He doesn't read the books on time, but he did read the books this time. He just didn't agree with the actual teacher. He kind of got a little smart lip with the teacher, and the teacher really wasn't feeling that. So, we kind of got a little taste of what happened there. Plus, we have Zeke, who doesn't do any of his work. Like, he's really relying on Tyreek so much to do his own work. And that's kind of going into his basketball things, because now Monet doesn't think that, basically Zeke is still on probation. She think that basically since Tyreek is tutoring him, like, he's gonna be off like that, like a snap of an eye, like a snap, like, oh, okay, he's off. But no, baby, it don't work like that, because Tyreek has to get his grades, because since he have started this canonical studies, that he doesn't really have a lot of time, but he tries to make enough time so he can get through it. But as we see this episode, he ends up getting the incomplete on his assignment because he didn't write exactly what the one of the professors wanted him to actually wrote. He actually wrote it as his professor, because one of the girls in the class said, well, you need to just play it by his rules. You need to learn how to play the game, and which kind of got him incomplete. So he ended up getting incomplete in his class and goes off on Zeke saying, well, basically, I'm trying to help you get this, and I need you to do me a favor, which is basically he gets to talk to Monet, and he wants Monet to basically put him into the game. Basically, he needs to make money for Tasha. We know this, and he needs to be he needs to be up in this drug game, baby. So he need to go ahead and make this money. But you already see him and Brayden, they be making that bank, okay? He said, look, I'm already making this up here at the school. I just need a supplier. And Monet is like, okay, well, you can't be staying with Zeke, because I don't want him nowhere near this stuff. And he was fine with that, because he was going to stay with Brayden in the first place anyway. But anyways, y'all, so like I said, so Tasha, let's really get back into Tasha, because Tasha was the key character up in this episode, okay? And we're going to talk about Monet in a minute. But Tasha, of course, we still dealing with Tasha trial. I really hope they don't drag this trial on for the entire season. At this point, I'm like, they need to go ahead and wrap this up in the next 2 episodes. I said it. I'm sorry. It needs to be wrapped up in the next 2 episodes. Hopefully, Courtney A. Kemp, if you're really hearing me, please wrap this up in the next 2 episodes. We need Tasha out and about, okay? Because we need to figure out what's going to happen when Tommy finally figures out exactly why Tasha said that he was the hitman of this goddamn operation, okay? Because that's really what needs to be going on. So anyway, she's talking to basically McQueen, and saying that, she wants to be on the stand. And he said, I don't really trust you, because, you really been lying. So he comes up with the bright idea to basically have her go through a mock trial, just so she can see how her outcome would be before she goes into the actual the real trial with Cooper Sack, and, just see if the guilty is really going to be on her side or not. Baby, she kind of had him when she was only doing it with Davis. But, baby, when Tamika stepped that tail up in that courtroom, she had got Tasha all the way together. Because, Tasha, you were still inside of the operations. You opened accounts. You knew he was in that drug thing. First of all, whoever on the writing staff thought it was smart for them to say that Tasha told Tommy to kill Ghost. Courtney, we gotta talk, honey, because really, what really? Like, did you really think that was a smart idea, Courtney? Comment down below if you thought that was the worst thing they ever wrote in book two. Because at this point, why would you do that? Because you really walked her into it, Courtney A. Kemp, to basically figure out that she's the kingpin and she's not. But at this point, it still looks like it. So anyway, so like I said, so she ends up coming off guilty, and we see McQueen asks Tamika if basically do she want to be on Tasha's defense team. You already know Tamika is kind of a little still but her because Tasha fired her, but it looks like McQueen has a little bit of leverage on her because she figured he kind of figures out that basically he signed a waiver so she can basically so she can represent Tasha, which means that Cooper Saxe is kind of in, some real bull. So we also see that technically we see that McQueen knows this and he's gonna basically double down on this. Like, he's really into getting Tasha out of jail. Well, he's gonna try his hardest because he wants a recognition. And his partner is really on the kind of else. He was like, this girl really been lying to us. This real long episode. But y'all, this really much for Tasha. Okay, well, we did have the fact. Well, yeah. Okay, so we do talk about this. So we also see basically Monet's husband, and you see Monet's husband's in the jail. He kind of run things in there. And also Tasha was basically giving this one of the inmates, like I said last episode, the morning after pill. And basically we see the husband calls Tasha at the end of the episode, basically saying, make sure Tyriq does what we need him to do. He's working with us now, and if he doesn't, Tyriq dies. Basically letting her know is, you tell your son to do whatever the hell we tell him to do, and if he doesn't do it, we're gonna kill him. And Tasha was shook. Okay, you can't be messing with the drug game, people, because this is Monet. This is Monet, and you already know her husband don't really play that game. It's already going to play with the big boys. He gonna have to get it together. So anyways, let's go ahead and talk about Monet. Monet is real stressed. Okay, like I said, Monet is sleeping with this police officer. Monet has got her 3 kids running the rug. We have Kane, who likes to shoot first, ask question later. He almost killed a cop this episode. We have Drew, who basically their father wants Drew to really take over the business because he feels like Drew has the most level-headed and he knows how to. Drew can handle himself, but not when it comes to shooting or killing anybody. He's more of the passive. He's really more of the passive side, where Kane is more of the muscle, and everybody kind of afraid of Kane. Which I understand, those two balance so much. But, their father already feels like basically he doesn't want Kane to do it because Kane is way too messy. He will shoot first, like I said, and think about it later. And basically Kane will basically he would end up in jail just like the dad. So he feels like Drew is more street savvy and he knows basically how to maneuver through these streets. So he doesn't have that particular problem as Kane is. Also, we also touch on Diana. Diana wants to go to school. We also find out that she's a basketball player. She says that she's just as good as Zeke. But Monet says basically she doesn't want her going to school, basically being a basketball player, because they only make $75,000 a year, and that's at best. And she doesn't want that for her daughter. And so she basically wants her at home because she feels like her brother needs her. Her brothers need, basically her. And I guess she basically feels like she wants Diana to take over being that motherly role for her brothers for, I guess, that situation. We really need to get more character development with those two. I really like Diana. But also, we see that Zeke, we kind of get a little bit more character development with Zeke this episode. So we also see that Zeke has a little tension between him and another basketball player at the actual inside of the locker room. Seem like have a lot of tension. Seem like it's a lot of jealousy there. And they get into this press conference. The man basically said, well, I'm the one that's basically bringing in all the points. And Zeke makes this slide comment saying, well, he just keeping my seat warm and I'll be back next episode. We gonna see about Zeke. I think they just really kind of playing with Zeke. I think he's just like a real filler character. But, guys, that really is, what happened this episode. Like I said, it's episode 3, play the game. We also see that that's pretty much it. What my thoughts is for the rest of the season, as well as the trial. I feel like Tasha needs to stay off the stand. I'm sorry, Tasha needs to stay off the stand. Tasha, you got too much going on. It's too many lies. At this point, you gonna have to tell them exactly what happened. Oh, I'm sorry. So we see the minority hired liaison. She, like we seen that episode, she was sleeping with the actual teacher, baby. So she's been ducking and dodging him because last week, so her sponsor basically told her that she needs to stay away from him as much as possible. So she goes to the office. Why is he in there having sex with his grad student? And she hears it, so she has to hurry up and leave the office and basically go. But it looks like, I guess, because if you kind of look at this episode, you'll see that the grad student kind of looks similar to the actual liaison teacher, and I think now he has feelings for her, and now he just doesn't understand. But y'all, that was really Power Book 2, Episode 3, y'all. Like I said, we need to figure out what's going to go on with Tasha. I'm gonna give it 2 more episodes, y'all, and she better be out of this. She better come on out because, like we said, and McQueen said, basically this case is basically about Cooper Sacks. It's not about Tasha. So basically, he's gonna try to figure out how to get this turned back around on Cooper Sacks. And like I think Cooper Sacks is gonna end up being the one that's gonna be in jail. But y'all, that was episode 3. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, and share this video if you care. Please go ahead and comment. Thank you guys for the people that do watch this video. I'll try to make them as much as possible for you guys. I love Power. I've been watching Power since the beginning, all 6 seasons, and now I'm in here for book 2. But thank you guys so much. I am your boy EJ, and I'll see you guys in another review. Peace.